Another UFC predictions video as we have UFC 280 right around the corner on Saturday, October 22nd. Main card has a special start time of 1 p.m. Central Standard Time as the card is taking place in Abu Dhabi on Fight Island. So it has an earlier start time. Just going to give my predictions for the main card, as well as a fight that currently is on the prelims, but I could see the fight being moved to the main card. Obviously, card subject to change. If you're a fan of the UFC or UFC fight predictions or UFC fight reactions, or if you just want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, smash that like button. Come back to the channel after the event takes place to see my reactions to some of these fights. I could see myself definitely reacting to 3 fights. It might even be 4. I want to see lots of comments in the comment section about your predictions. And of course, subscribe to the channel, join the team, and be a part of something special. So, UFC 280 on Saturday, October 22nd. Starting things off, at least at the moment, on the prelims, in an interesting matchup in the welterweight division, we have Ulal Muhammad versus Shaman Brady. This is a very close matchup. Brady right now is the favorite. I don't think Brady's been tested yet in the UFC, and Ulal Muhammad has had a lot of fights in the UFC, and he's done pretty good for himself. He had one setback, the fight against Leon Edwards, where it was no contest because he got poked in the eye really bad. I'm going to go with Ulal Muhammad in this fight. I know a lot of people would pick Shaman Brady. I just don't think he's been tested. The fight, like a lot of these fights on this card, could go either way, but I'm picking Muhammad, even though I'm not really a fan of his style. Hey, styles make fights. You do what you can to win the fight. I just don't like what I've seen thus far from Muhammad, but I've seen a lot more of Ulal Muhammad versus Shaman Brady. And then in the women's flyweight division, we have an interesting matchup where Katlyn Chookagian goes off against Manon Fiorot. I think I'm saying that wrong for the French woman. What I've seen from her, she is a beast. She is crazy in the octagon. Katlyn Chookagian, I've seen her fight a few times. Obviously, I saw her lose to Valentina Shevchenko with the head kick. I think the French woman, Manon Fiorot, is going to win this fight. I just think Chookagian is going to be outmatched. Of course, anything can happen, and it could go either way, but I think Chookagian's days as the top contender probably will be over. But hey, anything can happen. Next up in the lightweight division, and I think this might be the backup to the main event, you have Anil Darius returning from his long absence to face Gamrot. Now, this is a fight where a lot of people are picking Gamrot to win this fight. I like Anil Darius. I think he's very talented, especially on the ground, but he's sneaky good standing too, and I think Darius is going to win this fight if this fight takes place. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Darius is also the backup for the main event of the evening in case Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev were to back out of the fight. He would step in as a replacement. So I do think Darius will win this fight. At the moment, though, he's not favored. Next up in the bantamweight division, a very interesting matchup where you have Pyoto versus Suga Sean O'Malley. Jan is a huge favorite in this fight. I do think O'Malley can give Jan some trouble, and we know that Jan is typically a slow starter. If he has trouble in that first round and loses that first round, and then O'Malley can stylistically and take points away from him either in the second or third round, I could see a scenario where Sean O'Malley wins this fight. Now, he hasn't had a lot of top contenders yet, and the one top contender he had was against Cheeto, and he didn't do good against Cheeto. So I'm going to go with Pyoto in this fight. I think it will be more closer than what the odds are. I just think Pyoto is a beast. He just needs to start fast, but I could see a scenario where Sean O'Malley gives Jan trouble to a point where he wins 2 rounds and wins the decision, because it is a three round fight. But I'm going to go with Pyoto just because he's so crazy good, and I think it's a fluke that he lost to Aljamain Sterling twice. Even though the first time he was dominating the fight until that illegal knee. And in the second fight, you know what? I think Sterling actually won the second fight, but it was so close. If he would have just done a little bit more, I think he would have won the fight. So next up in the co-main event of the evening, another fight where I could see the pendulum swing either way. You have the current champion of the world, Aljamain Sterling, versus the former bantamweight champion of the world, making his return after coming back from injury, and that would be TJ Dillashaw. I think Sterling is very good with submissions and, you know, keeping the fight on the mat, where Dillashaw likes to swing, and it literally could go either way. Right now, Sterling is the favorite. I could see a scenario where he certainly wins the fight. I don't know how tough Aljamain Sterling is. I think TJ Dillashaw is going to win this fight and become the bantamweight champion of the world for, I believe, the third time in his UFC career. Now, does he deserve this fight? I don't know. He cheated. He got caught. He served his suspension. But I think Dillashaw can beat Aljamain Sterling, and I think that's going to happen, and he will be the new champion. And then, of course, in the main event of the evening, the vacant title is on the line. Even though Charles Oliveira is really the champion, he missed weight. It's a fluke that you don't get to fight for the title, even though you're the champion, when you miss weight by a pound. But Charles Oliveira takes on Islam Makhachev for the lightweight championship of the world. This fight is super close. These guys are really good at what they do. Charles Oliveira is a mastermind when it comes to being on the ground and on your back in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's good. And now he's developed a really good striking game to go along with that. And then, of course, there's Islam Makhachev, who is dangerously good when he gets you on the ground with wrestling and submissions. It's something that Charles Oliveira would love to have happen. What happens when Oliveira, you know, it's weird because Oliveira in his last few fights, especially against Poirier, against Chandler, well, mainly against Poirier and Gaethje, he goes to his back. He falls on the ground and goes to his back when he gets hit to recover. And the other his opponent just stands there like, I'm not going to the ground with you. I'm not going to let you submit me. So if he does that against Islam Makhachev, I think Islam jumps right on top of him and tries to tie his legs up and ground upon him or submit him or do whatever he does. But this fight is going to be super close. I really don't know who's going to win. I will give a prediction based on the level of competition. I know you Islam Makhachev fans out there will be mad at me. At the moment, I am predicting Charles Oliveira to win this fight and become the champion again. It's going to be super close. I just think he has the pedigree to win this fight. He's good on the ground. He can submit Makhachev when he goes in for submissions or if he goes in for wrestling. And he's got the striking. Although Islam has some sneaky striking power as well. But I just think Charles Oliveira is really good. I mean, he's fought some legit guys like Tony Ferguson, although he hasn't been very good lately. Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, and he hasn't been beat since he lost to Paul Felder. But I am going with Oliveira right now. I just think he's on another level. But if Islam wins, then I should eat my words because he's definitely talented. I just think the level of competition right now, I don't think Islam should have taken one more fight, although I think he has, and people keep backing on the fights, but I would have liked to have seen him fight Darius, and then the winner fights Oliveira, but that didn't happen. I'm going with Oliveira. It's so close. I give, Oliveira a 52% chance to win versus a 48% chance for Islam Makhachev. So those are my predictions. Again, just running this card back to you. I'm going to predict Bilal Muhammad to win. I'm predicting Manan Fiorot. I can't say the name very well. My lips are dry. I'm predicting Darius. I'm predicting Pyoto. I'm predicting TJ Dillashaw. And I'm predicting Charles Oliveira. So again, after this card's over, come back to watch my reactions to these fights. I'll definitely be reacting to the Sterling Dillashaw, Oliveira Makhachev, Jan O'Malley, and possibly Chokagian. You know, I could see myself reacting to 4 fights easily, maybe 5, possibly all 6. We'll see. That's a lot of reacting. Maybe if there's a fight you definitely want to see me react to, leave that in the comment section. But please come back to the channel to watch my reactions. I know I don't show the fight as I'm reacting to it. Obviously, I don't want to get my channel flagged for a copyright strike, but I do some pretty good reactions, especially if other people come over, which sometimes I don't get. But anyway, leave your thoughts down in the comment section about your thoughts and your predictions. And like I said before, and I hate repeating myself, don't forget to hit that sub button you're watching this predictions video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.